Once upon a time, there was a large and ancient olive tree. This tree had been standing on the slope of a mountain at the edge of a magical forest for centuries. The tree had seen many things over the years and accumulated many stories. But its most valuable friend was a crystal clear river that flowed from beneath the tree down to a large lake in the valley. Every day, the river would bring stories from different places and tell them to the olive tree. Sometimes it brought tales of the adventures of freshwater fish, and other times it shared stories of the village of humans on the other side of the mountain. The olive tree and the river would spend their days happily sharing stories with each other. One day, the river came with a heavy heart. "River, why are you so sad?" asked the olive tree. The river replied, "Humans are polluting the water. Due to plastics, chemicals, and garbage, our water is becoming polluted, and the creatures are suffering," it said with sorrow. The olive tree was deeply saddened by this situation and decided to find a solution. It thought, pondered, and eventually made a plan with the river. As the river flowed along the valley, the olive tree sought help by speaking with the wind. The next day, the wind carried a message from the olive tree's leaves, spreading it throughout the valley, reaching the village. The message talked about the importance of nature and the river, and how they could be protected. When the people in the village read this message brought by the wind, they were astonished and immediately took action. They devised a plan to clean up the river. Everyone did their part: children, youths, elders. Everyone gathered along the river, picking up trash and cleaning the water. Over time, the river regained its former clarity. Freshwater fish, turtles, and other aquatic creatures began to live happily again. The river started thanking the olive tree every day because through it and the wind, people had come to understand the importance of preserving nature. Thus, a strong friendship was formed between the olive tree, the river, and the people in the village. Everyone realized that they were part of nature and that they needed to work together to protect it. This story was told among all the creatures in the forest over the years. The olive tree and the river began to be remembered as heroes who taught children the importance of preserving nature. With each generation, the consciousness of conserving nature grew. This story reminds us that preserving nature and our environment is not just the responsibility of one person or creature, but all of us. By working together, we can make our world a more livable place. Our story continues with the successful efforts of the olive tree and the river. As days went by, the people in the village started discovering ways to live in harmony with nature. They not only cleaned the river, but also began implementing farming methods that caused less harm to the environment, using energy more efficiently, and increasing efforts to conserve wildlife. The olive tree and the river were delighted to be part of these changes. Meanwhile, they inspired other inhabitants of the forest. Animals started working together to protect their homes and habitats. Birds learned to build nests without harming trees. Squirrels began gathering and distributing seeds more consciously. Fish and other aquatic creatures started living in ways that helped keep the river clean. A year later, the olive tree and the river organized a festival to celebrate the progress made in protecting the forest and the environment. The festival became a joyful day filled with music, dance, and happiness, where all forest inhabitants and villagers came together. Everyone understood that preserving nature was not only a responsibility, but also a privilege. In the end of our story, the olive tree and the river continued to live in the depths of the forest, teaching future generations to love and protect nature. Thus, a small village and the surrounding nature became an example of a community working together to make the world a better place.